Hello, and welcome to the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. Previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J. Alongside the leader of Squad Squad, Kaliko Yachts, who is not here, may be joining us, probably not. But who is here? The Americans who did us.
Yes, I found the time in between my hectic schedule of bank robbing to be here.
You got that rowboat out to get away.
It's a kayak.
What is? Yeah. Okay. It was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed Morphy Mason on Tuesday, I believe. Yeah. Incredible interview, incredible individual, and it does seem like the future is bright for the '90s once again. Um, and then on Wednesday, we interviewed Dakota Duke. Incredible interview, incredible and unique individual to say the least. Wishing her best and a speedy recovery, so we could finally see that in-ring debut. This upcoming Tuesday, we got Stevie Legend, up in the Connecticut, New England area, and he's making a splash there. And we talk about that in the Big Jim Cup and Sly Cooper and a bunch of other stuff that you're not going to want to miss. And then on Wednesday, we got the Blood Tourist, Luke Kingshaw. Incredible interview, incredible human being. He's pretty much done everything in this business. He's been on the WWE Network, Peacock. He's wrestled in China, Spain, Sweden, the UK, everything in between, and we talk about all of that. Some incredible encounters, especially with Devon Dudley, um, and some video game talk as well if you're into that. And you could listen to some clips now. Can you tell us about your love of the Yankees?
My mom grew up right down the street from the stadium. I was born in New Rochelle. Pretty much the Yankees and the Knicks and the Rangers living in my life and takes up a lot of my time. So
you didn't necessarily get a chance to pick your team. Your mom was just like, "You're going to be a Yankees fan."
I was born into it. So yeah.
For anyone who remembers when AEW was first kind of coming about and they had the partnership with OWE, they did a big press conference and they got Dragon Fu, who's the OWE owner, on, and he went on and he spoke super broken English. So he's on stage and he goes, China, America, together, and I guess this big reaction, right? But that's like the only English that he speaks. So when I show up in China, me and Rob, we're both thinking that this guy doesn't speak any English. So we go out to the theme park, where we get taken out to a theme park, and then afterwards they say, "Oh, we're going to take you to Dragon Fu's restaurant. You're going to meet Dragon Fu." So we got in, we're eating, Dragon Fu shows up, and we sort of give him, it's customary in China when you're doing business to give a gift. So we present him with a gift that we had brought. We're speaking like super slow and super clear. We're saying, "Thank you very much for bringing us to China. We really appreciate it." And he turns around and responds in like the most Californian, like American accent, and was like, "Hey, no problem, guys. Hope you enjoyed the theme park." And I'm like, "Hold on a minute. Where did this like super American accent come from?" And I said to him, I was like, I don't mean to be rude, but we watched you on AEW and we thought you didn't speak any English?" And he says, yeah. So I was really, really nervous, and I forgot. He forgot how to speak English.
Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Scoodle?
I'd say we are.
Now, it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And it came out, I believe, yesterday. Kayfabe has joined the dictionary. What are your thoughts on a wrestling term being an actual, word people could actually use now in non?
Um,
Yeah,
I mean, the word kayfabe has always been around. Uh, it's the days of the carnival barker and whatnot. Um, uh, I mean, I mean, it's great, I suppose.
should we
Just
keep kayfabe and not talk about kayfabe?
unless unless your name is actually kayfabe. Um, and by the way, I copyright that. That's my gimmick now. If you want to use it, you have to buy the rights from me.
We don't have a kayfabe, but we have a B-fab.
It's not that fab.
That is not,
It's more like a B minus.
to say the least. I think it's good, but also bad at the same time because you don't want people knowing what kayfabe is, especially a dictionary. You know, a dictionary version of what it should mean. But as we all know, kayfabe is what we make it.
Kayfabe is the friends we made along the way.
Exactly. Speaking of kayfabe, Jade Cargill, she has officially signed with WWE. She's on board. Um, the whole internet exploded for obvious reasons.
Yep. And they actually talked about it on SmackDown last night.
Really?
Yep. They they did mention uh, Jade Cargill signing with the WWE. They call it the biggest free agent signing in years. Mm, uh, it, sure, okay. It got 20 million views. I mean, it's great. I hope she really gets seasoned. There we go. I pulled it up from my DVR. Uh,
You want them
yeah,
to season her? What kind of
you,
seasons? Like Tabasco, a little oregano,
you know
some
what I mean.
some
Um,
kayfabe.
uh, it, you know, when when she was in AEW, she started off hot, and then for some reason ran cold towards the end. And I don't know if how much of that was her and how much of that were her opponents, or how much of that was environment. Um, are they gonna fast track her to the main roster? Probably not. Uh, I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna do what they've been doing with Dragon Lee, and uh, as of uh, last night's SmackDown, it's incredibly obvious that they're that they think Dragon Lee's had enough time in NXT, and after No Mercy later tonight, Dragon Lee will most likely be part of SmackDown. Jade needs to get accustomed to working the WWE style. Because it's a style nowhere else. AEW really did work. It works the WCW style, and it worked. AEW also has a little bit of a smaller ring, just like WCW did.
Did it?
Yep.
WWE
It's
is
like
20 by 20, so are they 18 by 18?
yeah, it's about 2 inches like that around. Yeah. There's a reason, all those moves they can do in AEW are not being done in a WWE ring. But I think that I think they already have a slogan set up for her, and that's always bet on Jade.
That's so stupid.
I mean, yeah, nobody wants to bet on Black anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's in, the house has not been winning as of late.
Uh, I I really hope she does well. I hope she knows not to wear uh, a, uh, a singlet that rides all the way up her ass.
Why do you think she got signed?
I mean, then why hasn't Sky Blue been signed? We'll come to that in a minute.
She still has a contract. Wait until it comes up.
Well, I mean, I'm sure RJ City is disappointed that he has to take Jade off his list of female wrestlers with colors in their name.
True, like Goldust and D'Lo Brown.
And Ruby.
Ruby's Ruby.
And I know, but I'm saying, I mean, there's Ruby, there's a Sapphire, there's a Nyla Rose with testicles. No,
Please stop it. You know, whether she goes to the main roster or not, I don't necessarily think WWE is a place where she's gonna thrive. She's accustomed to kind of doing whatever she wants because, AEW is the Wild West over there and whatever. But I don't see her liking being put in, you know, a slot B position rather than, she came in as 1A and she only became 1B at the literally tail end of her run there. And she's never going to be the top tier talent that she feels she is because of one name, and that's Bianca Belair. As long as Bianca Belair is there, she's never going to be one of. You kind of understand what I mean?
yeah, I do. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this kind of reminds me a little bit of all right, I'm gonna go back to it. It reminds me of the whole case with Linda Miles and Shaniqua. Yeah, Linda Miles and Jackie Gata, the winner and runner-up of the second season of Tough Enough.
Okay.
And Linda Miles was about Jade Cargill's size in terms of height. Close, and her claim to fame is being the dominatrix manager for the Basham brothers, they named her Shaniqua.
Yeah.
That was dead in the water.
I don't know if it was dead in the water. They did very well. They won tag team gold.
I mean, considering that, before, Doug Basham and Danny Basham, aka the Maha, were supposed to be kind of part of the group, part of the golden class of OVW. Like they people down in OVW were saying these two are going to be top stars, and one of them was even going to hinder the spot in the Royal Rumble. I think 2004, but it got taken away from him. Maybe it was 2003. I don't know. But it's I hope, and I hate to say this, I hope Jade learns to be humble. And not in the gross chic way that you're thinking. Would you stop?
In what way?
I mean, she kind of has to learn that you gotta stop thinking her shit don't stink.
That's why she cuts the shit, Scooter. Duh. Unfortunately, there's nobody in WWE currently named Tony, so I don't know what she's going to do there. Would it be just hilarious if she called Vic Joseph for Byron Saxton Tony? And they're like, well, I'm Byron. And, well, I ain't looking at you.
She called Byron Taz.
Well, somebody that might need some humility to somebody that's been very humbled in his journey on AEW. Brian Pillman Jr. His vignettes for a NXT debut have been teased.
Yes, and it was only the first one this past Tuesday, and it almost got by me. I mean, okay, it was Bengals football, and then it ended with the WCW Saturday Night, the old set, and at that moment, you knew it was Pillman. I real I really wish, you get him. You might be able to have something new for Natalia to do. If they can get Harry Smith back.
Oh no. No.
had them managed by Tyson Kidd?
No, absolutely not.
Why? Do you want a new version of the Hollywood Blondes?
I would prefer that over a new Heart Foundation. I honestly would.
All right, we'll call them the Lung Foundation.
You know, in all honesty, I want to see Brian Pillman in a singles role. I don't want to see him in a tag team. He showed what he could do in a tag team. He was moderately successful. Okay, great. I want to see what he could do in a singles role, and really be able to spread his wings and see what he can do there.
They're gonna put him with Josh Briggs in NXT, and it's gonna be mullet time.
Oh fuck no,
Yeah,
no.
like it's bullet time for the Matrix. It's mullet time.
The only thing I really want to see with Brian is some interaction with Stone Cold.
That's what I was also thinking.
And the problem with NXT is we're never going to see Stone Cold on NXT.
Yeah, there's also the problem of
Money?
pulling out a live gun and having that brought back up.
Wouldn't that be awesome though? Stone Cold comes back. Oh, the lights went out. Oh, what was that noise? Stone Cold's been shot. Stone Cold's been shot.
Oh my god.
You son of a bitch. It took me 20 plus years. But I finally got revenge for my daddy.
Let's see who you really are. And then he just pull his whole face off and he starts bleeding all over the place. Ah, I guess he was real. Oops.
So, what's also real is Mandy Rose potentially coming back.
Nope.
She
Nope.
did an interview. She said, you know, it has to be the right call. And I think if Bengal Bros come and recruit her, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the woman who made a bunch of money outside of OnlyFans and recently announced she's starting in OnlyFans.
I got OnlyFans was the reason she got fired.
No, it wasn't OnlyFans. It was one of the other sites like OnlyFans. I think it was Fansly,
You say
fans.ly.
potato, I say why you're saying potato to me.
I say, show me some nipple.
So you're saying it wouldn't be a good move if she joined the Bengal Bros.
I mean,
And then obviously, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
Bangbros.com.
Talking about a bang, Adam Cole,
Captain Steph. Oh God.
his ankle exploded at Grand Slam.
What
Wasn't a match, wasn't doing anything really that physical. Broke his ankle in 3 places, destroyed some ligaments. He's going to need surgery.
he
I,
is.
I felt bad for him.
I know, but he's potentially ended his career by doing something flashy that didn't even need to be done.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Cole is done in the ring for at least year and a half at the most. I mean, Cole is a dedicated worker. He's a strong person in terms of health. So he's got that going for him. If anyone could recover faster, it's Cole.
I think the biggest problem is, when it comes to legs, yeah, things break. You could, ultimately get it healed. But the ankle is like a whole other animal in the sense of a lot of your weight goes on that small portion of your leg. And, if he does something before, if something goes wrong again, it could be really disastrous for him, whether it's in the ring or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the question is, do do AEW take the risk and like what I'm afraid they'll get one doctor to clear him when he shouldn't be cleared. Down the line. Um, that and I think I think Cole might quit outright if he gets relegated to a backstage role.
I think you might be right about that. But I don't think AEW is going to take the risk of, having one doctor clear him. I feel like they're going to, when it comes to the safety of the wrestlers inside the ring, yeah, they're like, fuck it, rip your head off. We'll figure it out later. But, once the red head is actually ripped off and, somebody needs to sew it back on, they let their wrestlers, rest and make sure that, when they ask them to rip their head off again, they're doing it safely. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It definitely comes at a sucky time when, Adam Cole was still, I don't want to say he was doing great things, but he was in a major rivalry that everybody wanted to see.
yeah,
And this really does, cut the legs out of AEW to have your biggest attraction essentially not there anymore.
and this also has to be a little bit of almost a morale crush for underused talent in uh, in AEW, or at least yeah, talent that look like they could be, in line for a title match down the road. Because you also have to remember, Cole's had a number of title matches and hasn't singles title matches and hasn't won a single one.
Well, I mean, like you said, there's not a lot of viable challenges for that championship.
There are. They're just. I think AEW's biggest fear is that they don't exactly know what to do to make MJF look like a dominant champion.
Because there's
And,
nothing you really can do. He's not that
yeah,
type of wrestler.
yeah, and that's the thing. That can only last for so long until, you know, you're asking your top stars to lay down. Do you think that it just happened to be Danielson, Cole, and Joe? No, they got put with MJF because they were former WWE talent.
Right. And former world champions themselves.
Yes. So at the same time, Cole's injury could be a morale crusher. It could be a morale booster. Um, it remains to be seen. It kind of feels like AEW has also given up a little bit on Britt Baker.
I don't know if they gave up on her or she gave up on them. Because it does seem like she just isn't happy to be there anymore. It kind of
Yeah,
seems like she just phones it in.
I mean, when you know, they fed her to Statlander. That's and as much as I love Chris Statlander, it that's a that's a match she shouldn't have won by any means.
It's not a match she should have won with the amount of build up that they had,
Yeah.
which was none. I learned that night that Statlander was fighting Baker.
Yep.
If you have Britt Baker antagonizing Chris Statlander, saying you're nobody, you have weak knees, I'm a doctor, I could give you a cleaning, it makes it makes you want to see the match. And that's always been the biggest problem with the women's division in AEW was they just say, this person's gonna wrestle for this championship. Okay, it's next week. Well, there's no build up. Okay, so why do I want to see it if they're just wrestling for a championship and there's no story attached?
Yep.
I think the only actual storyline I remember involving the TNT Championship is when Nyla Rose stole the championship from Cargill. And then she stole her car. And then we never seen her get the car back, but she got the title back. And she seemed
Uh,
content with that.
I mean, that's why they have insurance. Title belts don't have insurance.
Chris Jericho
Hmm.
wished that he knew that.
Hmm. That's an interesting idea. Title belt insurance.
Well, keeping on the topic of the women of AEW, Serena Deeb, um, we haven't seen her for quite some time. And it seems like there might be some issues with, the female locker room, um, management, Tony Khan, and that is the reason she hasn't been on TV. Are we looking at another Thunder Rosa problem here?
The question is, does anybody care? As much as and as mildly interesting as it was to see the professor on AEW. This is God. This is honestly. This seems like nothing. Like, who cares? Why should we care?
Well, I mean, it's not exactly because, oh, Serena Deeb is being mistreated. But, it's about the trend. Thunder
Hmm.
Rosa, Serena Deeb, the whole Lufisto thing. Which,
For the
gives
foreign.
more appeal to that there's issues in the female locker room. Some girls are held down, some aren't given the opportunity because there is a hierarchy in that locker room.
But that's one of the big unspoken rules of pro wrestling when you're playing in the big leagues. There is a hierarchy. And as much as we'd hate to see it, you know, there's never going to be at any point in the locker room where everybody is considered equal.
But
It a pro wrestling locker room is like the stock market. It goes up, it goes down. You know, some you sell high, some you sell low, and you know, and some you just get drunk with in a bathroom in Tulsa.
well, we've been talking about, Britt Baker phoning it in. Should she have, at the amount of pull she has, with the amount of stock she has invested in the company right now?
That's the thing about
Hypothetical stock, I should say, not
that's
actual stock.
that's the thing about Britt. As as valuable as we see her, she sees herself as being more noble for women in pro wrestling. She she has no problem doing the job for Statlander and not exactly caring that she lost that match. And that's a that's a it's a great you know attitude to have as a human being. It's honorable. As a pro wrestler, you know, half the time you're gonna kick yourself in the ass for doing something like that.
Right.
So Britt wants the female roster to succeed. That's clear. Uh, the thing is that female roster, there's no conceptual end to it. So it's like, okay, we got new women coming in. Okay, let's get them to work. Let's get them to work with Britt. We'll put them over Britt, and and the cycle continues.
Essentially, the gatekeeper.
Yes, and eventually that leads to You know, a reduction in self-esteem, in confidence, um, and it makes talent into doormats.
Oh, it's definitely, an issue because the women don't necessarily get a lot of exposure on Dree shows. I heard of a concept that somebody put out there that put Dynamite as all of the sketches and the flippy wrestlers and all that good stuff on Dynamite. Put the real wrestlers and the serious wrestling, with the wrestlers who wrestle on Saturday. And Rampage, make it all women. Have all the women have their storylines and fight on Friday. What are your thoughts on that?
I've always wondered if and I mean, if either company had the guts to produce a show with an all female roster. We're not talking. We're not talking Shine, Stardom, uh, WOW. We're not talking about that. There's certainly enough talent. The question is it is it bankable? Is it really inherently going to generate profit? It will generate interest. It will pique the interest of wrestling fans. Is it viable as a business decision though?
If WWE did it, yeah. If AEW does it, their audience aren't looking for the women.
See, WWE could afford to not only do it live, but they could probably at least get an extra house show out of it.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, with Rampage ends up being taped, and a lot of the audience goes home before you know whatever they have left to tape for Rampage uh, has been recorded.
Right.
It's
I mean, when it comes to let's take the live attendance out of the equation. Ratings. Ratings have not been great for Rampage. In general, because it is taped. Even though it is taped, but you have all the women on the show. Do you think that having it as an all-women show would generate enough buzz for people to tune in? Even if it's a casual fan that's not looking at spoilers, or people that did see what was going to happen and maybe say, okay, well, I know what happens, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
there's there's another variable in all of this, and that's AEW's booking doesn't know how to write. They barely know how to write programs for 2 female feuds.
Right.
And
We don't even
making
know
an
how to
all
write feuds for the men, let alone the women.
but this is where my point comes in. Now, if they do an all female show, now they have to they have to put in that extra work. And as much as we'd like to see it, that would probably frustrate AEW's bookers who are being stretched thin as it is to have to come up with 3 to 4 more female feuds or female stories.
Right. Well, that brings us to a quote from Tony Khan. He did, I guess it was a media scrum for WrestleDream. Um, when when it pertained to possibly going on a different network, um, or staying where they currently are, um, he said, and I quote, "I would do anything I can to protect the jobs and livelihood of the people who work here."
Oh, I haven't laughed like that since I was a little girl. Thank you. Oh man, Tony Khan, the ultimate bullshitter,
Move aside, Vince McMahon. There's somebody that bullshits better than you.
and he doesn't even need a slick mustache.
How would Tony Khan look like with a mustache at this point?
He would look like he was wearing a fake mustache.
I mean, it looks like a fake mustache on Vince.
I know, but I mean, at least it makes Vince look like his evil twin, like Rodrigo McMahon or something. It's like a soap opera.
Did you ever see that movie, The Grand Budapest Hotel?
Yes,
You know, Zero had that like little line of a mustache.
yes.
That's how I feel like Tony would look.
But he have to wear like a monocle too.
Oh God. Are we
Uh,
talking about promoters or are we talking about like supervillains at this point?
I don't know.
So we wrap up the news.
Uh, I mean, one positive thing about AEW, Sky Blue's butt went viral.
It does every week.
Uh, yes, but uh, you know who's responsible for it?
Oh, Gilmaker?
No, for her butt going viral. There's actually someone responsible for it.
Sky Blue Sims?
Kyle Fletcher.
Oh, like there's so much I could say about that.
Yep. Aussie open. Aussie open your legs.
Well,
I'm,
somebody likes to watch, and that's all I should probably say about that.
like, you want to hear something really terrible? She was like, at one point she was like, can we tell them all I'm underage? And I'm just reading that like, bong bong, da 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 da.
which is kind of weird considering she has an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Law and Order, the OnlyFans unit.
Produced by Dick Wolf.
That's funny because that's his name.
Yeah. Alright. I think that should conclude the news for now.
Yep.
And now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with AEW Wrestledream. It's tomorrow. It takes place in Seattle, Washington, at the Climax Pledge Arena. To some, this is a Wrestle Wet Dream. To some, it's a Wrestle Fever Dream.
It's a Wrestle Nightmare.
Again,
What a stupid fucking name for a paper. I'm sorry. It's terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at this card, I'm not exactly, mad at it. There's some decent action, I would say. That's maybe a tier above a normal Dynamite taping. You know what I mean?
Yep, but this is a second pay-per-view in a row that doesn't have the AEW World Championship being defended.
Do you expect him to defend that championship every month, Scooter?
I mean, I remember when that used to be a major story point, and if that didn't happen, they had to forfeit the title.
I mean, who is he? Seth Rollins? Defending his championship every month? Who does that?
You know, if I part of me thinks I hear the name Wrestledream, and I expect every match to be a dream. Otherwise, it's Forbidden Door, just not in Japan.
Well, it wasn't in Japan. It was in Canada.
I know, but I mean, with it's just Forbidden Door, just with barely any New Japan wrestlers.
If this show doesn't end with Daniel Bryan waking up next to Brie Bella and saying, I had this horrible dream that I wrestled at this company called AEW, and
Oh my god.
she's like, no, you're still Daniel Bryan, and you still work for the biggest company in the world. It's
Oh
okay.
god. The Newhart method.
Yeah.
Oh man. If any of them ever go back, you know, that's the way they should do it.
You know that one time the Nexus put Vince McMahon in a coma?
Oh shit. Yeah, that's right.
And he woke up and he was like, what happened? It was like the Undertaker got buried. And he was like, shit. So we get into the matches.
Oh god. Uh sure.
Ricky Stark versus Lord Wheeler Yuta.
Uh before we get into that, uh also they're doing this thing where they're putting a title match on the 0 hour.
I don't even see 0 hour on.
Uh, uh, it's the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn against the Mighty Don't Kneel for the trios belts.
No, that's insane because I would actually want to see that match more than a couple of the matches on this card.
Come on, it's Bad Dude Tito. Uh,
Big Teats.
uh, Ricky Starks, Wheeler Yuta.
Yes.
Who gives a shit? They have. I've never seen a push killed as fast as it was with Ricky Starks.
Multiple times.
Like, and and they're doing a strap match on Collision when it's clearly, when that was clearly, by gimmick alone, a pay-per-view worthy match.
Yuta and Starks was having a
No,
strap match?
Starks and Danielson.
No, they had the strap match at All Out, and then they had a death match a couple of weeks later.
Oh yeah, it was a Texas death match.
Yeah,
Oh
not in Texas.
yeah. No, I'm thinking of God, I'm thinking of Dijak and Thor from NXT.
Who wins the match, Scooter? Let's get on with this.
Starks, clearly.
Yes. Next match, Fatal 4. Wow, I completely lost my voice. Fatal 4-way match for the future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Middle-Aged Bucks versus the Ass Boys versus the Luncha Brothers versus freshly pooped Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Really, that's the best you can do. Freshly pooped.
Well, I mean, if you freshly squeeze somebody, they're going to poop.
Oh man. You know, uh, the Lucha Bros, only because they're the only team here that I'd 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 love to see as champions again.
In all honesty, the Lucha Bros make the most sense in that it makes no sense. So watch how they go with Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if it ends up being the Guns, I think we're going to be forming lines to jump off a bridge.
I mean, the Guns should already have a title match. One of them pinned Hardwood at the last pay preview, so that's how championship matches work in my book. You pin one of the
No,
champions.
nope.
Yep. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart for the AEW TBS Championship. Brody Burger King is in Julia Hart's corner. You
You
know,
know,
I really like Chris Statlander. I really enjoy what they're doing with Julia Hart. But a match that literally has no build whatsoever. They could have did so much good shit with these girls and really build up a match that people want to see. And this is essentially relegated to the P-break match. And these girls are so much better than that. You know what I mean?
I'm glad they're finally doing something in ring with Julia Hart. Um, there were rumors that they might, they might, that they might actually give Julia the title here. Um, in reality, no chance. Statlander wins.
Yeah. We got a one Edward Kingston wrestling Katsuri Shibata for the Ring of Honor World Championship and a strong openweight championship.
They love double title matches.
I mean, and Shibata's not even defending his championship.
Uh, this is like
It's going to be a good match. I'll say that.
it's gonna be a good match. What's the over under on Kingston getting blown up? What are we saying? Like 6 minutes? Uh,
Kingston to retain?
yeah, clearly.
Yeah. We got the AEW TNT Championship match, 2 out of 3 falls. Christian Cage versus Debbie Allen.
You know, I didn't actually see the triple threat match with Luchasaurus, but I knew that was going to end up happening where he was going to win the belt. Was Luchasaurus even pissed off at him?
He was. He looked somewhat pissed off, but like, I'm still connected to this guy, so I better not say anything. But there was definitely some hesitancy, I'd say.
Like, I was, part of me thought that match was going to be like Cage would lie down and then trick Luchasaurus, but uh, you know, Darby's held this belt. Does he need it again? No.
Let me ask you this. Did Christian need it at any point in his life?
Nope. 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 But I think he took it because he knew he was never getting anywhere near the AEW World Title. Uh, but it's watch them do something stupid where it's one fall apiece, and the third fall ends up being a stupid fucking double pin.
Double count out?
It's 2 out of 3 falls, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to declare a winner. Cage retains.
I'm going with Darby. You know, we always say when it pertains to Darby, he doesn't need the win. It doesn't hurt him. But at some point, he's gonna have to win a match. So give him, the secondary title, the title he's more associated with. I'm up for it. All right, we got a 6-man tag match. We got Cold Kutska takes Shida, Sammy Guacamole, and Will Ospreay. The Don Callis family. They're fighting Chris Jericho, uh, Twinkle Toes McFingerfuck, and um, Child of a Deaf Parent Abushi.
The Golden Showers.
Yes. Who wins, Scooter?
I mean, they took the least threatening looking wrestlers and turned them into heels. And now they're putting them up against the two of the founding members of the company. Good God, they keep, you know, one step forward, 16 steps back. Uh, if you think Jericho and Omega are doing the job, you're right. Yeah, the Callis family is gonna win. Twinkle Toes McFingerfuck is yeah, his days are numbered. He's gonna run out of toes soon.
Um, that's exactly what I was thinking. Cold Kutska takes the W over either Omega, Ibushi, or Jericho. Anybody else getting the W? What makes sense? So obviously, Will Ospreay is going to beat Kota Ibushi. All right, we got 2-on-1 handicap match for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. MJF is taking on the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. I will say this: I've been really digging what the Righteous has been doing, and Dutch has a fantastic aesthetic to him that's so contrast of what Vincent is doing. You get what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, I absolutely get what you're saying. It's the same reason I like them. That being said, this is AEW. MJF wins.
Well, if you believe rumor and innuendo, which you probably shouldn't when it comes to this, is that Edge will be making his debut as MJF's partner. Yeah.
um, what? Where the hell did that come from?
MJF said that he'll be defending the championship with Adam. Not Adam. He never said which Adam. So people were speculating that it was Adam Copeland.
Watch it be Adam Bomb.
Adam Bomb's still an active wrestler.
No, he's not. Could be Adam Pierce.
I think Adam Pearce isn't leaving his comfy WWE job anytime soon.
Watch it be Adam Rose.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Considering that Adam Rose looks like he fell into like a vat of chemicals, like in Batman '89. Uh,
He looks like he ate Adam Cole, is what you're saying.
Basically. Could be, Pac-Man Jones.
But his name's
You
not
know,
Adam.
his name is Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Nobody knows him as Adam.
I already said Adam Rose.
There was an Adam Page,
Oh,
but he has a match later on.
Joey Mercury. His real name is Adam Birch. Okay.
Isn't he retired?
I don't know. Um, uh, the guy from Reno Scum, CW or Impact, whatever it is, Thornstowe.
Okay.
Adam Page. Some guy named. Oh. Okay. Angelico.
Does he still work there?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
Now here's the thing. Would you believe it would be Braun Strowman before Edge?
Well, he's injured and still currently signed with WWE.
I mean, Braun Strowman might have thought when MJF asked him, he thought EC3 was asking him.
I could see that.
Because they do kind of look alike.
I mean, if MJF took steroids, yeah.
Maybe he didn't mean Adam. Maybe he meant a dam. Like a dam. I don't. Oh shit.
A down, maybe A down, A town down. Adam Theory, Austin Theory, I should say.
It, watch it be Wardlow.
His real name's Adam.
I mean, his actual name is, Michael Austin Wardlow. I mean, Adam Cole is not even a real Adam. So.
This is correct.
So we kind of have to think that MJF is fucking with us.
Which won't be out of the realm of possibilities. Alright, we got FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Hardwood versus RC Open, Kyle Flatulence, and Mark Davis. They're fighting for the AEW World Tag Team Championships.
I mean, I barely remember the match they had 365 days ago. Yeah.
The fact that Aussie Open was like, we're the best tag team in the world. But, well, we haven't really been showing it as of lately. Then, if you're not showing it, then why the fuck are you the best tag team in the world?
AEW writers, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not AEW writers. That's just ignorance at its blisses.
I mean, they only AEW could take one of their most popular teams, in fact, the most popular team, and put them in a match that a lot of people might potentially find boring. I mean, how many AEW fans do you think can honestly tell you who is in Aussie Open?
They have a better chance of telling me who is in Legado El Fantasma.
Uh, well, Aussie Open ain't getting anywhere near the AEW tag titles. FDR retains.
And this is the correct answer. I wonder how many people could tell you that Aussie Open is actually IWGP World Tag Team Champions. Keep in mind, I actually watch New Japan on a regular basis, and I didn't care that they won those championships. Alright, now we have Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland.
Talk about talk about your polar opposites.
I
This
mean,
is
shouldn't this have been Bruce Wayne with Strickland?
Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Wayne is wrestling on 0 Hour, so
Oh,
against Luchasaurus. So,
okay then.
um, they're trying to push Swerve,
Okay.
and I mean, why would they give him a match with Hangman?
Uh, because it's a Wrestle Dream match?
Is it though?
In Tony's eyes.
I mean, how many people are saying, "Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you for giving us Swerve versus Hangman."
Oddly enough, I'm I'm sure that there are people that will or have.
Yeah, well, you know what? With Cole being out, Swerve's gonna pop into that spot. Watch.
Wow. That's definitely a visual.
Uh, so here's the thing. Does is Paige man enough to do the job for Swerve? No, Paige wins.
Can I could I go with I don't care? Cause
You know that
I mean
I'm gonna change my answer to that.
Strickland, if he wins, is he doing anything great? Does it bump him to the stratosphere? Does he get a rocket strung to his ass because he won't
He,
beat Hangman Page?
he has a better chance of getting launched there if he's just thrown by Keith Lee.
You're not wrong about that. So Danielson's probably gonna win, so Adam Page wins this one. And that brings us to the last match, the main event, the thing everybody paid to see, and that is Daniel Bryanson or Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. I will say that it is going to be a fantastic match. It's going to be, a good old classic, catch cam, what we expect from both guys. I don't necessarily expect Zack to hurt Bryan because, he's a safe wrestler. But that's what I said about Okada, and then he broke Bryan's arm in 3 places. So, what do I know?
See, I'm to me this isn't exactly a dream match.
Okay.
Uh, um, okay, good, but it's well known that they had to protect Brian, and in something like this, which is as of right now still poised to be the main event of this show,
Right.
it's, you know, and given Danielson's work ethic, I think this match is going to do way more harm than good. Um, Maybe something happens where it ends quickly and we get somebody else coming in. Um, because I'm thinking if they're not, if Danielson is now not going to take any time off, I mean, it screams Okada run-in.
Well, if you're saying Okada costs Brian the
No,
match,
I'm saying the odds will end up being against Brian, and Okada will save him.
I would go. This is how I see it going. Brian wins. Okada comes out, challenges him to a match at Wrestle Kingdom. That's as thin cut as it gets.
Uh, I feel it's ZSJ, and he goes over clean.
That that doesn't necessarily make sense. And
Well, neither did Daniel Garcia beating Brian Danielson.
well, I mean, it makes sense in the sense that you're trying to build somebody to be, a player for your company. I get that.
See, I
But
mean,
Zach doesn't necessarily need it.
unless you have Claudio and Wheeler turn on Danielson.
Mm, I guess.
See, that's the big problem with this. You couldn't. Not once has Zack Sabre Jr. been on any AEW TV.
Especially to build up the match. I mean, the
Like,
closest thing we came to was backstage comments. Um. Oh, okay, hold on. Zack Sabre is currently in a feud with Will Ospreay. He's challenging for the British Championship after this match. So do you see maybe a run-in from Will Ospreay to um costing GSJ the match?
I don't know because people are gonna be so friggin' confused. They're
Because
gonna wonder why is Osprey out here. Most fans don't know that.
right,
AEW is taking a very huge risk in banking on name alone. And I hate to say this, but they they're doing it with probably one of the worst names possible. Like you don't do that with with someone like Zack Sabre Jr. You could do that with someone like, you know, like Goldberg, like Hogan, like Edge. ZSJ, this just having no build up and just a few remarks does not a main event make.
Right. I think cut and dry. Brian Danielson wins clean. Okada comes out, challenge him to a match at Wrestle Kingdom, and Bob your uncle, we go off the air with Okada and Brian face off. What say you, Scooter?
Sure, why not?
Alright, that is the Wrestle Fever Dream, the Wrestle What Dream, the Wrestle Why the fuck are we doing this? That will conclude our coverage of this and this episode as a whole. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Stevie Legend. Join us this Wednesday as we interview Liu King Sharp. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Instagram, and Dread. Follow me personally on X at JamesJ993. And where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on X at Scooter Dust. Keep an eye out for the social medias, yada yada yada. And of course, Wrestle in all my Dungeons and Dragons antics, along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons Clan, twitch.tv Smoking Dragons. Dragons celebrated their 5-year anniversary 2 days ago with a 24-hour stream. They did a Smoking Dragons trivia contest where I was one of the answers to one of the questions.
Well, congratulations. You can die a
Thank
happy
you.
man now.
Promise?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.